Hey guys, Luke from Kotaku.com here, and today we are taking a look at a game called Anarcute, which is a Riot Simulator, I guess you'd call it. It's basically a game where you take control of an ever-increasing mob of rioters and just basically smash stuff up. Attacking police, destroying buildings, saving sort of captured fellow rioters. It's very, says so in the name, but it's a very cute game. In both looks and play style, I guess I'm going to be reductive here, but it's very much what would happen if you crossed Katamari with Jet Set Radio, which sounds, it's not the most sort of obvious pairing, but there's definite sort of nods to both of those games here, both in terms of how they play and how they look. The game starts in Tokyo, which sort of invites some of those comparisons straight off the bat, but the way it plays is it's a campaign and you go mission to mission to mission. Each one is its own little stage, introducing its own sort of challenges and puzzles that you've got to overcome and stuff like that. It's not really a puzzle game, but as you get through the game, some approaches sort of do take a bit of thinking instead of just brute force. But as you can see here, you start in a very small group, and then as you just walk past more riders, you just naturally attract more and more and more, so you sort of grow from a small group into sort of a larger mob. And then as that group gets bigger, this is where the Katamari comparisons come into it. As that group gets bigger, you unlock more powers, but you also just naturally can do more stuff. Like you've seen there, we can start picking up sort of debris and roadside ornaments and stands and bikes and stuff. As the crowd gets bigger, you can start to do more advanced things like pick up cars and do more complex attacks. The size of your mob is sort of outweighed by the fact that as they get bigger, they get sort of more unwieldy and ungainly to control. So yeah, the bigger you get, the more you can do, but the harder it is to move stuff around, especially when throwing sort of becomes a key element of the game. To, like you can see here where I'm blowing up landmines by throwing objects. The bigger your crowd is, the sort of harder it is to accurately throw stuff, because the crowd's obviously massive and everyone's holding something, so it can all be a bit of a mess. As you complete missions, you get money, and then in between missions you can come here and spend money just on perks and upgrades and power-ups and stuff. It's a linear campaign, though there are some sort of deviations where you go mission to mission and then there can be a branch off sort of optional side mission you can complete. Every mission has a ranking. This game's version of good, great, S rank, whatever. It's dependent on how fast you do and how many riders you sort of lose to the police. Stuff like that. So yeah, this is the end of a boss fight. Well, not a boss fight, but a sort of more complex stage earlier on in the game. It starts in Tokyo, is the sort of first chapter, and then as you go through the game it unlocks different cities for you to smash around in. But I just grabbed a quick video here when I first started playing it, so everything you're going to see is only from the Tokyo stages. It's such a cool city. It's not really a proper open world game because each mission takes place sort of its own little custom level, but yeah, the Tokyo they built is adorable. And then as you can see at the end, yeah, that's the little ranking thing I was talking about. You can see different types of animals here. I'm actually not sure if they are. They're not really animals. They're masks. But yeah, for the sake of most of the time you're playing the game, they're animals. You can see there's different types of animals. As you go through the game, you only start with a handful of species, and then you make more. And then as your as your mob gets bigger, yeah, that's what I was talking about with more powerful attacks. You can go from sort of more complex, devastating attacks on the police that you're trying to take down, all the way up to what you just saw, which was taking down an entire building. And yeah, then as you progress and as you get more powerful, obviously the cops, they're not technically the police, they're some kind of shady security force, but yeah, the bad guys obviously get more powerful too. This is one of the sort of bigger units that you face earlier on in the game. But yeah, Anarcute. This is a very cool game. I've had a blast playing it so far today. It's out now on Steam. It's advertising for $13 US here in Australia. I'm not sure what that's going to convert to elsewhere in the world, but pretty cheap. And I've had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth checking out. But yeah, that was Anarcute, and